Hello YouTube, I hope you can see me. It's a bit dark and dingy in here. I wanted to do a video about something that I really enjoy selling and I've been buying and selling for a long time, and that is trading cards in all their different forms, going right back to antique cigarette cards through the sort of 70s and 80s tea cards and all of that stuff, right up to modern day with your Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And my particular favourite, which is Magic the Gathering, which I sell loads of. And I'm going to start with that. I mean, at the moment, I dabble in all the others, but it's a bit hit and miss finding them. I rarely find cigarette cards anymore at car boot sales. You can pick them up at auction sometimes, but it's a very, very specialist field, that one. Anyway, Magic the Gathering, which if you haven't heard of it, it's a trading card. That's what the backs look like. They all say Magic the Gathering on, so you can be sure of what you've got. And it's a fantasy game with these characters on, where you battle against other players, and it's like a collectible card game, similar to Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's kind of the granddaddy of all of those games. It's a fantastic game. I actually play it as well. I'm a bit of a geek like that. But yeah, I buy and sell this stuff on eBay, and it's a fantastic thing to get into. It's a huge subject in its own right, but I'll just cover the basics in case you're out there and you find a job lot of Magic the Gathering and you pick it up and you buy it cheap and you don't really know what you've got. Let me just summarise. Like I say, all Magic cards have the same back, Magic the Gathering Deckmaster on the back. And on the front there's thousands and thousands of cards. They've been issuing them since I think it was in the early 90s they started issuing these. Right, what you want to look out for, every card will have a little symbol here which denotes which set it was issued in, and you can find out quite quickly if you need to what those sets refer to. And see, they've all got different ones. It's not focusing very well on here. I hope you can see them. Now then, all of these have black symbols on. The colour of the card isn't really relevant to its value. There are 5 colours of Magic. There's red, black, green, blue, what haven't I said, and white. There's 5 different colours of Magic. So yeah, they're common cards which don't hold much value. I still sell them. I tend to sell those in lots. And then beyond that, there are uncommon cards. And those you can recognise because their little symbols in exactly the same place are silver. Hope you can see that. Yeah, there's another one, different symbol, but it's filled in with silver. You can see that one. And they are, as it sounds, they're uncommon, so they're not as readily available as the common cards. But to be honest, they hold not much more value. They're not worth a great deal. But I tend to sell those in play sets. A play set in Magic is a set of 4 of the same card, and that's a great way of selling less valuable cards, because when you're playing the game you only allow 4 of the same card in your deck, and that's known as a playset. Anyway, the ones you want to look for will have gold symbols. The light's really bad in here, the light's fading outside, so I don't have much daylight, but yeah. So these are all rare ones and they have gold symbols. And I sell a lot of these either on their own or 2 or 3 of the same card, or a playset of 4. Um, the value, even in a rare card, the value will vary immensely from 50 pence right up to 10, 15 or 20 pounds in sort of extreme cases. And you've got another level of rarity on top of the gold symbols, which is the foil cards. This, I don't know if you can see if it glints in the light, is a foil. It's backed with foil. This is also a rare because it has the gold symbol. So this is a rare and it's foil. So that will have extra value again on top of its sort of value as a rare card. So anyway, that's Magic the Gathering, and I buy and sell that all the time. You'll be lucky to find it at car boot sales. So you do every now and again. I actually found a bag full of it last week. Not much, a few hundred cards, but it was nice. I tend to buy mine in huge job lots from players and collectors. But that's a subject, it's a huge subject within itself, but it's worth picking up if you see it and it's going cheap. And it's easy to sell. Right, other than modern cards, we've all heard of Pokemon. It's still worth picking up. There's still a huge collector's market for Pokemon. I don't know masses about it. The ones I tend to look for, again, are foils. Foils will have specific or higher values than the average. Promo and pre-release one, see that's got a gold shiny pre-release on it, that will have a big collector's value. But again, even the common cards and stuff, they're worth putting on eBay and selling in lots. It's the same with Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically, I know very little about Yu-Gi-Oh! I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! I've dabbled in Pokemon with my nephew, but Yu-Gi-Oh! I buy when it's cheap. I recently bought this tin, must have 300 or 400 cards in it, maybe not that many, 200, 250, and I paid £1 for the lot. And I could just put it on as it is, and I don't know how much I get out of it, £5 or so. But it's worth trying to pick out the shiny ones. Here we go. Let's see the foil Yu-Gi-Oh! There, and just look them up. Just literally put the title in. All the Yu-Gi-Ohs have a card number written in small at the bottom there. But yeah, they're worth picking up when the price is right. With Yu-Gi-Oh! For me, that's not a lot. I never pay much for it. Then going back in time a bit more, there are T cards, which were big in the 80s and in the 70s. They are not worth, on the whole, they're not worth much. I don't tend to pay much for these. I don't buy them that often. Recently I picked up, these are T cards, complete sets in books, which again don't have masses of value. Don't expect to get lots for these. I got this entire wad for 50p, and there's a couple of nice sets in it. That's a slightly earlier one. These are all made by Brook Bond, this whole lot I think, and these are complete. But even a complete, well, I say it's complete, it's missing one there. That's another fairly early one. Tropical Birds, that's a lovely set, out in space. The earlier the better, as with most things. There'll be some value in that one. But on the whole, there's very little money in it. And when you get into the 80s, this sort of set, very little money. That might be 70s actually, I'm not sure. But I did find, you can find these, they're not that hard to find, and I find them at boot sales, and if they're cheap, I still pick them up. There's someone's collection. It's absolutely rammed. Each one of these bundles is 100 or so cards, so there must be 5 or more thousand in there. And they're all sorted, but there's not masses of value. There's quite a lot of work, and there's not a great deal of value. I tend to sell those in lots or bundles. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily recommend getting into the T card side of it. Again, there are sets that you can make silly money on and sell individual cards. Misprinted cards and stuff like that go really well. But on the whole, the T cards aren't worth a great deal. There are other trading cards like gum cards. I don't have any in stock at the minute. The Star Wars Topps trading cards and all the different sets of Topps trading cards which were issued with bubblegum are worth looking up. And this sort of thing. These are Lions Made, are they? Yeah, Lions Made ice cream ones. And I think these are from the 60s or 70s. That's the Rolling Stones one. We've got a lovely one there of Mr. Ringo Starr. And these go well. Probably sell those individually. I haven't tried selling those off yet. And then of course you've got your cigarette cards. My grandfather was a huge collector when he was a kid, and I inherited his collection. I've got a collection of many thousands of cards and lots of complete sets, all done up in albums. But I do buy and sell them to make money as well. It's a huge subject. I was just going to show you a few examples really of what they're lovely things. Cigarette cards, everything from actors and actresses. That's probably a 1920s one. Sports ones are great. Cricket, for some reason, tends to have a lot of value. Then you've got architecture. Um, Footballers, that's a nice caricature card. This is by players. Again, probably 1920s or so, I'd imagine, on that one. And these, I found some of these which are really nice. These are the old cigarette packets. It's a Players Navy Cup packet. They look tiny because they would have had no filters on. A nice little star cigarette box. These have very little value. I was just showing them as an item of interest, really. But yeah, there's a nice example of a collection of cards there. This was my grandfather's box of all his spares, which I'm not selling off. I was just there to show you. So yeah, it's just a little insight into yet another market and another area that you might want to look into finding out, so you don't pass by a bargain. The one that, like I say, I can recommend the most is Magic the Gathering. It's huge. It's a worldwide market, and if you manage to find any, you can make really good money on it. I sell these packs and packs of these. I sell the commons in packs of 100s and packs of 50s. I sell the rares on their own or in packs of 2 or 3, and they go out on a daily basis. And yeah, so that's trading cards. I hope you can see me. I know it's very dark and dingy. I need to do this in the daylight and get all the light in from the big window, but there you go. As you can see, the new office is still in complete chaos. I still haven't finished building the packing table. We've virtually moved all the stuff out of the old offices, and we've kind of dumped it all over the house at the moment. The place is in absolute chaos. So yeah, all good fun. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.